My name's Vashi and I like to talk about finances, well-being and being single. I'm currently in the process of creating a 10-part investing series, but I thought I'd slip one of these videos in because, unpredictable. I'm not newly single, but I have been single for some time and I've had my fair share of heartbreaks over the years. I've received a lot of advice and I've tried to seek things that would help me, and I've been on and I'm still on a journey of self-discovery, and in that time I've learned a lot. So I'm making this video in the hope that it will help someone in this quite often uncertain and scary situation. When you first come out of a relationship, it can be hard, like really hard, and that's whether or not you did the breaking up or vice versa. You'll most likely receive a lot of unsolicited advice and things people will say to help you feel better. And this all comes from a good place. And quite often, this can do more harm than good. And here's what they don't tell you: time doesn't always heal. Give it time. We've all heard this, right? And I've probably said this to a few of my friends as well. The truth is, time doesn't always heal. And it probably won't heal without a little help and effort with you along the way. Using this time that you're newly single to really feel your emotions of sadness, anger, and grief is super important. And so is surrounding yourself with people that you know will support you during this time. And I know in this day and age, not everyone has someone they can turn to in times like this. So again, it's super important to immerse yourself in a really mindful activity such as journaling. This actually heals me. And also things like drawing and painting. And the idea isn't to lose yourself, rather it's to connect with yourself on a deeper level, and rather than avoiding or running away from the emotions that you're feeling, it's about getting closer to these emotions, understanding them and learning how to process them. Time itself doesn't heal, but taking the time to grieve does. And this brings me nicely on to my second point, which is you need to give yourself time to grieve properly. In my personal experience, the worst thing you can do is avoid your grief. Whilst pushing your despair to the back of your mind may feel like it's helping, but this often prolongs the pain and causes it to unexpectedly crop up at a later stage. And this can also manifest itself into a health issue. And Johan Hari wrote this book, Lost Connections, which I absolutely love, and he talks about this in there. And this is one of my favourite books of all time. If you haven't already read it, please check it out or put it on your list. I'll put a link in the description bar below. You have to read this book. Instead of pushing it to one side, allow yourself to grieve and heal. It won't be easy, and it might be the most challenging thing that you ever do, but it will get easier. You will probably go through some or all of the emotions outlined here in the 7 stages of grief model, which was originally created by psychologist Elizabeth Kubler-Ross and then later adapted to classify the different thoughts and emotions a person will typically go through when they experience loss of a loved one. So the first stage is shock and disbelief, where you can't really bring yourself to believe what has happened. The second stage is denial, then guilt, then anger, then depression/loneliness/reflection. And then the next stage is reconstruction, or working through your new normal. And finally, the final stage is acceptance. You accept that that person is no longer in your life and you continue living yours. There is definitely no timeline to go through these stages, and it's not a linear process. As time passes, you may find that you regress to one of the earlier stages, especially around things like birthdays, anniversaries, or holidays. And this is completely normal. However, over time, it does become easier and your pain will subside. It never does go away completely, but you end up learning how to live with that loss. You will be on an emotional roller coaster. You're going to feel lonely as fuck, As much as I've spoken about being comfortable alone and happy in your own company, girl, it does not come easy. Especially if you've lived with your partner for a while and they've moved out or you've moved out, there will naturally be an adjustment period where you have to learn to live by yourself. Even if you know the relationship ended for the better, it will feel lonely at times. And in times like this, it's okay to reach out to your friends and your family and the people around you who can support you during this time. I mean, if you can't do that, are they really your friends? Invite them over, have sleepovers, and even ask them to help you redecorate the place. And you know, I get it. Even in a room full of people, you can't help but feel lonely sometimes, and that's completely normal. It's okay. You'll eventually get to the stage where this feeling will subside and you'll learn to be a bit more comfortable in your own company, but it does take time, and this really becomes easier once you learn how to understand the emotions that you're going through and process them. Hang in there. Got you. You may need help to heal your wounds. If you keep trying to move on and you find that you're not making progress, it may be worth seeking help with a therapist. The loss of your ex may be deeper in your subconscious than you actually realize, especially if that relationship was abusive or toxic in any way. And you can't heal if you stay within that same toxic position. Whether it's physical or emotional, abuse of any kind stays within our psyche unless we take the time and effort to actually process them. There's absolutely nothing wrong in finding a therapist at the end of a relationship to help you heal those wounds, process what you're going through, and help you build a more fulfilling, healthy relationship in the future, even if you can't believe it's possible in this very moment. And finally, there's no right time to start dating again. Yes, take the time to grieve and heal, but if you feel ready to get back out there, start dating again. Don't let no one decide when this time should be for you, whether it's too early or whether it's too late. Equally, you may feel directionless and disorientated, and that's completely fine too. Take as much time as you need to grieve and heal, and even if that's weeks, months, years, do you. Becoming and feeling disorientated is normal when any journey changes track, so whether that's a relationship or you're actually out trekking. Take the time you need and don't rush into anything. Just do what feels right for you. The main thing you need to know is that you will get through this. It sucks. It really does. However, there are also loads of benefits to being single, and if you want to know what these are, you can check out my very first video on this channel. I'll put it here or down here. Be patient, be kind to yourself, sending love and good vibes to you for the rest of your week.